Hey guys, how you doing? We're going to change the oil in the X3. Some of the things you're going to need is a 17 millimeter socket. I don't remember if it's a 17 or 18, but I got 17 and 18. A 10 millimeter for the bolt that's next to the drain plug. Some people don't take it out, I take it out. And an 8 millimeter to get off the filter top. Also going to need a 6-inch extension, your ratchet wrench. You might need a smaller one too. It's just a little easier if you want to use a smaller one. And I always torque my stuff down. This is foot-pounds, so I have to do the configuration. I'll get you the foot-pounds of what it is. I mean, this is inch-pounds, I'm sorry. So I got to do the configuration on my phone, which sucks, so I just need to buy it. This is cheap Harbor Freight. So also you're going to need your filter, of course, and your oil. Make sure when you leave the dealership, they give you 4 quarts of oil. The old Maverick is like 2.5 or something like that. So the dumbasses gave me 3 quarts of oil. I need 4. Luckily, I have another quart. So kind of a pain in the ass when if you would have got home and don't have any oil, synthetic oil that matches this, and you're throwing in junk oil just to get you by or something. Also a thing that you can get, not everybody does get, but new crush washers and the O-ring around your filter gasket. I don't do that every time. It just, most of the time the dealership don't have them, so I don't do it every time. I do it about every 2-3 times. When to change the oil, first 5 hours that you own the machine. If it's brand new, off the showroom floor, first 5 hours. Reason that is, you need to get the steel and everything, the shavings from a new motor out of the oil, change it, 5 hours. After that, anywhere from 50 to 100 hours. When I say that, can you go 30? Yeah, oil is, guys, I know this is a $60, $70 oil change without anybody else doing it for you. I mean, it's not cheap. Synthetic oils, you know, especially this crap from actually Can-Am, it's $12, $13 a freaking quart. AMSOIL's $12, $13 a quart, and it's not getting cheaper. But oil is cheap compared to your motor. People ask me all the time, why do you change the oil so much? You used to change the oil in your dirt bike every 5 hours. You change the oil in your car every 3,000 miles. Well, this oil says right on the container that you can drive your car for 10,000 miles. Yeah, you can. Oil is so good now and synthetically made to where the oil does not break down. That's not why we do oil changes, guys. In these high performance motors and, you know, a high performance, you know, stock cars, race cars, they're not changing their oil because the oil's broke down. Because it's not. The oil damn near looks brand new when you pull it out sometimes. When I used to pull the oil out of my dirt bike, I'm not pulling the oil out because it's broke down. I'm pulling it out because I need to get the clutch dust out of the oil. I need to get the metal shavings out of the oil. If you beat a motor and you use that motor to what it's used for, there's going to be particulates in the oil that you need to get out. You just do. It's not that the oil's bad. Now if you have a little Honda Civic or a Toyota Camry or something like that, yeah, go 30,000 miles if you want on the oil. Okay guys, the first thing you want to do, jump in here and start your machine up for 2 to 3 minutes. Alright guys, after you've ran your motor for 2 to 3 minutes to get the oil warm here, this last hole in your skid plate is going to be your access point for your 17 millimeter drain plug and your 10 millimeter drain plug that is there. Okay, all you're going to need is a 6-inch extension on your ratchet, your 17 millimeter socket, and it is located right here. Okay, and right next to it is your 10 millimeter socket. Okay, you want to take both of those out. And to get the oil out without making a complete mess, you're gonna have to rig up some kind of a funnel. I just cut a funnel with the Sawzall. You can get flex funnels. What I recommend is to go down underneath here and take a 6-inch hole saw, or even, you know, a 4-inch hole saw, and just cut that out. Take the hole saw, cut a big old hole here. I would have done it myself, but every time I go to the hardware store, like I said, I forget the hole saw. So we're gonna get this oil drained. It's gonna be a little messy probably. I had to go get a new pan. My pan had a hole in it, and I got oil all over the floor. So let's get this drained. Okay guys, once you get your plugs out of the machine, make sure that your washers are on the bolt. If they're not, try the top of the machine itself. A lot of times they get stuck to the motor, so check there. Also on your big plug, your 17mm plug, this is a magnet. So you want to take a contact cleaner, get your rag, clean off all the metal shavings that might be on this. After 550 miles, this is my second oil change. There is hardly any steel, if any, on this plug. So if you pull this out and you have a good amount of steel on it and you're just not sure, if you find a chunk this big or there's quite a bit on there, take it into the shop, ask a mechanic, hey, is this normal? If he says if it's normal, then fine. But if the mechanic goes, ooh, that don't look good, not saying that you guys don't trust your mechanic, just if you don't know the mechanic personally, if it's your first time there, take it somewhere else and ask another mechanic. If he says the same thing, then probably you got something going wrong in your motor. If one mechanic says, no, that's normal, other mechanic says, ooh, then you might want to go to a third. Thing is, I'm a mechanic myself. I also have friends that are mechanics that I trust, that where I can go to them and go, is this bad? And if they say yes, then I know for sure. There are guys out there that'll say, yes, that is bad. You need a whole bottom end. And you don't. And thousands of dollars later, you got a brand new rear end or a bottom end in your motor that you didn't even need. And if they even tore it apart. So just be leery, guys. Make sure you trust your mechanics, okay? I have to take the 8mm out and get the filter out. I'll show you where that's at. And then right now it's just draining. So right up on top of the motor, in front of the main shock, right here, this little deal right here, the round thing, it has 3 8mm screws. Take out these 8mm screws, pull your oil filter, put your new oil filter in the exact same way that you pulled it out. It's going to have a hole on the bottom, and I'll show you that here in a minute. Make sure your O-ring is around here. If not, it might be stuck to the top here. Hole on the bottom. New filter, hole on the bottom. Push it down till it seats. Put your top back on. Okay guys, after everything has been drained, put your washers back on your 17mm. You're going to torque this at 22 foot-pounds. Your 10mm, torque this to 11 foot-pounds. Now I just use my ratchet wrench here that you've already seen me use, it torques down to 10. So I just use my ratchet wrench, put it at 10. Also the 8 millimeters on the filter I've already done, torque them to 8 foot-pounds. Again, I just use my torque or my ratchet wrench. I put them on 10. So do you have to torque them if you changed oil before? You know what tight is, so just be careful you don't strip out your aluminum block. You strip that out, you're gonna have to send it in, get it drilled out if you don't know how to do it yourself, and Healy coiled. So you don't want that to happen, guys. So and then after that, I'll show you where to fill it. All right, guys, if I haven't mentioned it already, make sure you pull that 10 millimeter drain plug. There is quite a bit of oil in that. Just make sure you do it. Don't be lazy and not do it. Okay, back here, back in the rear of the motor, I will get a light here, but see that yellow plug? That is your drain plug. It is going to be on the driver's side, in between your two hoses here, your two big intake hoses, your clutch and the push out here. Easiest way to do that, long funnel, you can actually go from up here through one of your holes and down in. I just use a little stubby funnel, fill it up. You are going to want to put 3.7 quarts of oil in it. Put 3.7 in it, start the motor, check it, and if you're good, you're good. So we're going to do that here quick. Okay guys, once you got it full of oil, start her up for about 30-40 seconds, let the motor warm up, get the oil into the oil filter. After you run it for 30-40 seconds, shut it off, check your dipstick. You guys like my purple rag? It's pretty sweet. Okay guys, there it is. Last step is the clean your damn tools and put them away. Just remember, every 50 to 100 miles or 50 to 100 hours, 50 hours is going to be probably right around anywhere from 1,000 to 1,500 miles. So if you're putting on 100 hours, you're looking right at 3,000 miles. So same as your car, same thing. So 3,000 miles on an oil change. Sounds like a lot on something like this, but that's what they recommend. Now, can you change it every 25 hours, about 600 miles? Absolutely. Is it going to hurt anything? Nope. Put new oil in there, like I said, is a cheap investment to a motor that costs, I don't even know what it costs to put a motor in those. I'm probably guessing right around 10 grand, somewhere in there. So more than a crate motor for a big block Chevy motor. So it's a little ridiculous. I think the last time I priced an entire motor was for like a four-wheeler, and I want to say that four-wheeler motor was like $4,000 or $5,000. So again, more than my crate motor and my 396 Chevy when I bought that back when I was, pretty young. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it helps out a little bit. I'm kind of rambling, so I'm gonna let you go, get my tools cleaned and put away. So you guys have a good day.